So I'm all about implementation versus just taking information. And I was looking at my bookshelf the other day and I was like, there's so much information on this. I need to start implementing more and more, and I want to help you do the same. So in this video, I want to talk about the success principle specifically and how you can use it to show up more in your business. So my name is Ruth-Ellen, and we are going to completely change your mindset by the end of this series. There's 64 principles. It might be even more. Sometimes people do bonuses, and I want to go through each and every single one of them for you to be able to really own your energy, own your mindset, own your physicality at such a level that it's easier for you to say yes to yourself again and again and again. So, principle number 1 is all about taking 100% responsibility. Now, if you've already read this book already, listened to it on Audible, then I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you on a different level to really immerse yourself in these principles again. Because I read this book many, many moons ago, it feels like, and I still to this day dip in and out and say yes, yes, yes to these principles because they are timeless. And so in order for you to shift, heal, and expand, to show up in your business again and again, but to do it from a place of knowing and believing in you constantly, I want to go through these principles. And so you're going to see a playlist with these principles specifically, and that means you'll just see it all in one. So you can get the book as well to come along the ride with me, this journey. But essentially, the takeaway for today's principle is all about taking responsibility. Now, in certain areas of our lives, we can feel like we are not in control. So then we can go overboard and we can want to control everything. And then we can have issues about trusting ourselves and trusting others. And it can show up and manifest in so many different ways. And so I want to encourage you to look at where in your business are you not taking responsibility? Are you not taking responsibility for perhaps how visible you are, which is the key thing that I help you with? Are you not taking responsibility for the quality of your content? Or are you not taking responsibility for your own energy, for your own health? Are you expecting somebody else to kind of come along and give you this magic pill? When you know that the best way, the most effective way to move forward is to not feel like you're waiting for somebody to help rescue you, but for you to be that warrior, that goddess, that person that moves you exponentially forward. And so this is what this is about, taking responsibility. And so you can do this in little ways. We're going to do small increments because we already know. A habit is something that's formed over time. It's something that's done and practiced, and it has to be inserted into your life. It can't just be like an add-on. It's something you're already doing. So in that in mind, there's a formula to follow. The event plus response equal the outcome. So in NLP, we always talk about how our experiences distort and delete certain things in our lives. So we'll have an experience, our brain will kind of distort, it will delete, it will almost change it to an extent, just so that it can make sense of it, because we're meaning-making machines and we're constantly trying to make meanings out of situations. We overthink. And so in order for that to not happen, in order for us to really take back our power, call back our power, the formula is the event plus the response, not the reaction, the response. The response is all about kind of stepping back and then taking stock of what's happened and then responding. It's a different form of emotional intelligence, right? And that's what you want. You're building that emotional intelligence muscle. Event happens which you cannot control. It's out of your control. It just happens. Your job is to respond rather than react, from a place of calmness, from a place of peace, from a place of centeredness. And then the outcome. you'll see it change. Because at the end of the day, even if it's the outcome that you're not, that you'd still think it's not ideal, you've in that moment controlled your energy. You've made sure that you are in control of your power. You haven't given it away to somebody else by reacting in a way that makes you think like, who was that? Did you see what they just did? I feel so bad about that. That was just, wow. Is that how we're doing it? Wow. Is that what you're doing right now? Is that the energy you're bringing? And you don't want that. You want a different level of emotional intelligence, a different level of response, a different level of, I'm okay with that decision, the way I handled that. And that's coming from a place of wisdom. You can only really have wisdom over a period of time and using your learning experiences. So what have you learnt that works really well for you? There's lots of events that go on throughout the day. Some of them might be big for you. Some of them might be really small that you don't even notice them. But I want you to choose an event, and instead of reacting straight off, I want you to respond. And in order for that response mechanism to kick in, you'd have to breathe, ground yourself, and then respond. And you're thinking, yeah, but I haven't got time for that because I've got to respond quick. Again, power's going where? I want you to ground yourself. Take that event. Don't respond from a place of panic, but from a place of knowingness and calmness and groundedness. And then you'll see a completely different outcome. And it will completely change the way you are reacting with the world and the way the world reacts to you or responds to you more specifically in this scenario. So that's what I want you to do for the first principles about taking 100% responsibility. Now, obviously in this chapter, there's lots of things that you can do within that taking responsibility. But I believe in small incremental shifts, because small incremental shifts build up to big change. We don't have to try to change everything, and then what we do is you end up changing nothing because it's just been too big. And in order for you to have that container where the change has happened and you're expanding, we have to make these small shifts. These small shifts are really going to give you the wins. So principle 1, day 1, about responsibility. So I'm also doing this in my other social media feeds. So you're going to see the same type of video. This one's probably more in depth. But what I want you to do is comment below the event and your response. Specifically, what's really important is your response, how you responded below. It's really going to benefit you, and it's going to give you accountability as well for the next 64 days. So if you're with me, comment below. Thanks for watching.